Thanks a lot, everyone, for coming. This is a policy event, which is part of the Barcelona Graduate School of Economics Summer Forum, which is in its second year. In Spain in general, and maybe in Spain in particular and Europe in general, I think there's need for pushing, policy evaluation, making policymakers accountable for their actions.
In fact, you can sort of view the debate in immigration policy across much of the developed world as a competition among countries, among immigrant-receiving countries, for attracting high-skilled immigrants. If you admit a lot of high-skilled immigrants, the presumption is that some of that smartness will rub off on the people already there, make people more productive, and that could increase the gains from high-skilled immigration. And last but not least, there's also fiscal impact of high-skilled immigration. High-skilled immigrants will tend to obviously earn more, pay more taxes, demand fewer services, and that could lead to a fiscal gain. And the costs have to do with the fact that if you let a lot of high-skilled immigrants into the country, high-skilled workers already in the country are going to experience more competition. That additional competition will tend to lower the earnings of high-skilled workers, which will make being a high-skilled worker actually less desirable. And what we want to know is, well, what happens as a result of all this? Whether you benefit or not from high-skilled immigration depends on how closely connected you are to the high-skilled immigrants. If you're able to collaborate, if you're able to be helped directly by these very high-skilled workers, more likely than not, you're going to gain dramatically.
I'm going to focus on a very specific thing, which is when you say you allow for school choice, you basically say that parents' preferences should determine where the child goes to school. But what does that actually mean if school capacity is fixed? So in most cities, what the mechanism is to ask parents to rank a list of schools, and then everybody's put in their first choice. Okay, and if there's over-demand for a certain school, then you order applicants by following an order determined by priorities. Now, the alternative mechanism that has been suggested is this Gale-Shapley, and what this Gale-Shapley does is, if you don't get in your first choice, when you go to the second choice, independently of whether it's full or not, if you have more points than those that have been pre-accepted, you're first. So the Boston mechanism forces families to apply to neighborhood school because it's safe, okay? And that's a source of inefficiency, but it also provides a chance. For those who have a really bad neighborhood, they can just try out something because they have nothing to lose, okay? And that actually is a benefit that the Boston mechanism offers, and the Gale-Shapley doesn't. And the Boston mechanism provides better chances for those who have a private school, so that's bad. People who can pay a private school, they should go ahead and go to private school, but they should not have increased chances to the best schools in the public system, okay?
We have learned that an additional years of schooling is worth a lot in the labor market in terms of earnings. The rate of return to an additional years of schooling was estimated all over the world in the last 50 years. And we have more or less robust evidence that it's about 7 to 10% per years of schooling. Education at the individual level is the best investment you can find in an economy. I'm going to tell you how school quality can be improved by increasing existing inputs. So first of all, we know now that class size is very important. Giving autonomy to schools in terms of hiring teachers, not the city, not the central authority, but the school, determining who are the teachers that will teach in their schools. That is highly correlated with the value of marginal product of an hours of instruction, and it saves a lot of money. We have no evidence whatsoever in developed countries that having computers in schools improve learning outcomes. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't have computers in school. It's just that we shouldn't think that that would be the solution for improving school quality. We think that there is already evidence that suggests that opening this system and introducing differential wages for teachers is going to be beneficial. Every medicine that we buy, it's written what are the side effects. Why don't we care about our children when we think about sending them to school and expose them to different programs? We should move much more to policy based on scientific evidence.